Please sing with us. Uvenei Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh, Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh, B'meira b'yameinu. Uvenei Yerushalayim, Uvenei Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh b'meira. Uvenei Yerushalayim, Uvenei Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh b'meira. HaKodesh b'meira b'yameinu. Ir HaKodesh b'meira b'yameinu. Adonai, Adonai, Dovid'l Weinberg was with us, was reading another piece of our mishpacha, of the Keilah. So I want us to open our hearts and hear some Divrei Elokim Chaim and Nigunim with Reb Dovid'l.
Shlomo and I, over the past few days, both took trips to Haifa. The only reason I'm mentioning it, he'll be mochel me. He sent me a video of himself with a family of one of our dear students' friends, Chayal Gibor, who's getting well, little by little. Please God, should have a refuah shlema b'nei Weinberg and Chana.
Amen.
And there was a picture of him sitting with the family with the guitar. to myself, it's the more the asra, maybe I could bring a guitar tonight, I thought. And I mean it seriously. My wife and I spent a combined, my wife Rena and I combined together, first her and then us together, for sure more than a decade, maybe getting close to 2 decades, in Camp Hask, where another good friend of ours is right now. In Camp Hask, if you go to Camp Hask, so you can go Erev Tisha B'Av, you can go tomorrow, and there'll be music playing. And part of the reason is because, as everybody knows, there are certain places in the world where Geula already came. And also, from a very technical perspective, because there's a heter, it's a long-standing heter that goes back to different rabbanim who served in Camp Hask, that the prohibition of music during the 9 days is not subject to the general idea of a therapeutic milieu. When a person is receiving some sort of therapy, whether it's physical therapy, whether it's emotional therapy, music is something which there's a heter for such a thing. And so it's a davar pashut, it's so obvious that a family that's fighting for every breath and someone who's just awakening from a state of being in a coma for a little bit that needs the help of music to bring out, of course you bring a guitar. And so even though it sounds like a joke, I second guess myself that I bring a guitar here for the therapeutic milieu that we need, that all of us need a little music in order to pick up the broken pieces of each of us that are just lying on the floor. The Rambam paskins, based on the Gemara in Sukkah, that Iker Shira b'peh. There's a machlokas in the Gemara in Sukkah and Erchin about whether the main shira, the main song, when we sing a song, is the main song done with instruments, or is the main song with one's mouth? There's an afkamina and halacha. Are the Leviim the ones who are singing, or are they the ones who are playing the instruments, or can you have someone like me playing instruments in the Beis HaMikdash, even though I'm not a Levi? And the Rambam writes that the Iker Shir is b'peh. The main Shir is b'peh. And one of the reasons, as the Shem Yishmuel and others point out, that Iker Shir is b'peh is we have this strange feeling when we come to one of these little islands of space where we're not allowed to play instruments, we feel it much stronger. An instrument is there to support the voice, usually. And in the Beis HaMikdash, there are instruments to support our voices. But when you strip away the instrument, when you strip away that security blanket that you're holding in order to mask the intimacy and the terrified little child who's standing and bearing their voice, the emes, and you take away that instrument, you realize that the voice, the peh, Iker Klei Shira, the Iker is the Shir b'peh. Says the Shem Yishmuel, you realize all of a sudden when you strip away the instrument, you realize that the peh is also a kli for something much deeper. That in the same way that the guitar or the violin or the instrument serves to support the voice, when you strip away the instrument, you realize, okay, now this is an instrument which is supporting something and revealing something that otherwise I wouldn't be able to reveal. So the opportunity to, which is not a common, it's not something that I'm used to at all, to sing Nigunim without the help, without the aid of a piano or a guitar. The last time I was here in any official capacity was October 3rd. October 3rd was the last time I was in the shul upstairs. Remember that? Before the whole world turned upside down. October 3rd. And there we did something where we had, also unusual, I don't usually when I'm in the capacity of sharing Torah and tefillah in a public space like that, or guitar, as my children say, or guitar or piano, not either or, in Eretz Yisrael, or guitar or piano, not both. And so last time we had 2 instruments, and this time we also have 2 instruments. There's an instrument of the peh, and there's the instrument of the heart. And the Kiddush Hashem that's emanating from this building always, but especially today. And I walked in, I said, you mean I have to decide right now whether to go to this or that? Or like every single one is like amazing. And I want to go to all of them, and Ritz Hashem will be able to listen to all the recordings. But to be able to sit here all together, and to sing together, and to be Megala our Lev, to reveal our heart, and to show that the Ikr Shira is really the Lev, to do that in a place like this. All the work has already been done. It's just for us to open our mouths and to let the Shira B'Pet or the Megala, the Shira of the heart. I think tonight, I'm not sure 100%. I think tonight is a Bachanach. Is this tomorrow? He said it's a mishpacha here, and I'm part of the mishpacha, so if I'm part of the mishpacha, I get to talk about the Bachanach.
This to explain my sister and brother-in-law, Be'ez Hashem.
I was about to say.
They're bringing their son into a Bris of Avinu tomorrow morning. That's what he's referring to.
So the night before Bris is an old custom. Different ways of calling this custom. A Wachnacht in Yiddish means the night of watching. The night of watching over a child that's about to enter to the Bris of Avinu. Al Yovad Yisrael, Om Shema Yisrael. At a Wachnacht, so that you have all the little children come around. And being a little child has nothing to do with what year you were born in, as far as I'm concerned. And you gather the children around the Racha, Odmat Nimo. And as far as I'm concerned, also the baby doesn't have to be in the room because he can be there also. And you gather everyone around and you say Shema Yisrael. Gather together and you say Shema Yisrael together, you sing a Malach. Pasuk in Eicha, which I hope will lean with the Tam Elyon. I don't hope we don't not lean it, I hope we lean it with the Tam Elyon. Not in the way that we always lean it. Just like the tzaddikim say by Bechukos, my bar mitzvah parsha is Bechukosa, my father's is Kisabo, so it explains a lot. The Rav of my community where I grew up, I'm not sure what the custom is here, but the Rav of my community was the Einikel from Kvari Levine, first person named after Rav Yitzchak HaKohen Cook, Avram Yitzchak Levine. And he didn't let bar mitzvah boys learn the Tochacha. And the pashtus is because you have some 13-year-old kid chewing out the rest of the kahal. It's probably not so nice, all of you, have been keeping mitzvahs for 5 seconds and telling everybody, how they haven't been doing a good job. It's not so nice. But the deeper explanation, I believe, and he never said this to me, but I believe this to be true, is that the deeper explanation is that he didn't let the bar mitzvah boys later, he made their fathers read the Torah. Because when you hear your father read the Torah, it's a different thing. And the same thing with Eichasal. You know, there's a pasuk we read every year in the third parak of Eicha. It's a famous pasuk. It's for people like us, and I speak at liberty here for all of us, you know. For people like us sitting in a shul like this, it's like one of the hardest psukim. Now, not when we're reading about historical things, b'shas ma'asav, those obviously they're much harder. But now the hagdara of what Tisha B'Av is, that it's sakosa ba'anan lach me'avar tefillah, that Hashem hides himself in a cloud and doesn't let tefillah pass through, that Hashem closes the gates and says, I'm not interested today in having a conversation with you. It's like, if you're a person who enjoys tefillah and finds solace in tefillah and finds sanity in tefillah, and then you read a pasuk like that Hashem closes the door and he goes in the cloud. Me'avor tefillah, no tefillah is passing through today. It's a hard pasuk. When you read it with the Tam Elyon though, you can understand that there's still something the Jewish people have. And that something that the Jewish people have is Shema. The thing that we have is Shema still. I mentioned before, I was in Haifa by the hospital. The brother of this soldier came and showed me a sefer that was drenched in blood from this chayal. And he told me, he said, Benji likes his farm to be like written on, like very colorful. So, and I wrote in the sefer because he said he likes to have his farm written. I wrote it, we should finish the sefer together. It was on page 113. There's a lot more pages in that book. And we should be able to learn together. But the Maya Chayi, entering into a bris with Hashem, the first thing we tell the child is that there's something called Shema. Rav Soloveitchik wrote a lot about this. I'm not going to give a whole thing, and I'm going to sing another niggin in a second. But Rav Soloveitchik wrote a lot about this, about the difference between Shema and Tefillah. Tefillah, it only works. There's all these different things. The Rambam has like a million different things that like you need to have. Your guf needs to be a certain way, and your machshava needs to be a certain way. And it's a different level of kavanah and orientation of your body. There's so many different things in order, because if you're not omed lifnei Hashem, the tefillah is not a tefillah. Shema, you don't have to be standing in front of Hashem. Dafka Shema is for when you don't feel like you're standing in front of Hashem. Dafka Shema is for when you feel like you've already been or you're about to go under the knife in an operation, in a bris. When you feel like you're in the middle of that operation. We're not in the Shivat in Nechemta yet. And when a person feels like they're sitting in that place of an operation ongoing, and Hashem is hidden in a cloud, and there's no way to penetrate the cloud, there's something called Shema. Shema is the cry of Emunah of the Jewish people. It's the cry of, even if you're hiding from Hashem, I still fundamentally believe in Echad. There is no cloud. The cloud doesn't exist. And so even though me'avor tefillah, that's true, Hashem is hiding that our tefillah can't pass, but our Shema can still pass. Ha'omrim Shema Yisrael. So I don't know if people know, it's also late, but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't know how many people know this niggin or not know the niggin. Sing it one time. If not, if we know it, maybe we'll sing it twice or 3 times. In the hospital, when I was there, I took the train. I don't know if you took a car, but I didn't schlep a guitar. I went just solo, and I was standing in the room. And the only niggin that I could think to sing was Rav Kook's Shir HaEmunah. Rav Kook wrote a beautiful national anthem. I don't want the Shabak or anyone coming after me, but I'm not going to suggest that it should have won, or that the national anthem is beautiful the way that it is. But there's a certain thing that's going on in our generation where there's also this parallel national anthem, which is not just about being Chofshi B'Artzeinu, but it's about being Bali Amuna B'Artzeinu. It's about walking in the footsteps of Dovid'l. And so I don't know who knows the name or doesn't know the name, but I'll try to sing it together because I don't want the Shabbat coming after me, but I also want this to become the national anthem of our generation. Maybe every generation gets like that, not of this, of the Medina, but like every generation gets their own like, little national anthem that goes. I'm not sure how to say it, but I'll find.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rabbi Dovid'l. Thank you to all the men and women, to all the Ovdim and Ovdot. לעד חיה בלבבינו האמונה הנאמנה, לשוב לארץ קודשנו, עיר בת דוד חנה, בשורות טובות ישועות